So, welcome to the first ever episode of the SuperMegaClash podcast, the podcast companion to your wrestling fandom. Wow, just a few hours off of encapsulating 48 hours of great wrestling action. Wrestle Kingdom 10 and New Year Dash by, obviously, New Japan Pro Wrestling. There wasn't a Monday Night Raw, but honestly, that doesn't matter with the almost 10 hours worth of wrestling that we got from Japan in the last couple of days. It was ridiculous. Both shows, for me, delivered hugely. I was expecting Wrestle Kingdom to be great anyway. New Year's Dash, I wasn't sure what to expect, but again, just a really fun show. So, it's awesome to see. Really, really awesome to see. I'm not going to do a review of the whole podcast because I don't see the point in doing it beat by beat, segment by segment, match by match, because I'll get bored of it, if I'm honest. I don't know about you lot, but you'll probably get bored of it too. I just want to hit some major points. I will be honest, I was never a huge Michael Elgin fan, but after watching him in the last 6 months in New Japan and watching him over the last 2 days, wow, does that man fit into New Japan, or Japanese wrestling in general, and I can't wait to see more, if I'm honest. If it's tagging with Tanahashi, cool. If it's doing some single stuff, cool. I'm down with either, to be honest. But seeing what he did against Lethal and seeing what he did in that multi-man tag match, yeah, I'm fully sold. Really sold on Big Mike. Mark Briscoe, I think he's going to go a long way. I think the Briscoes are going to do well anyway, but I'd love to see Mark Briscoe do a lot. His froggy bow is, like I tweeted on Twitter, coincidentally, as I tweeted out, his froggy bow is ugly yet beautiful at the same time. He did a Cactus Jack elbow, and he just puts everything behind it. The crowd seemed to be getting behind him, and yeah, Mark Briscoe. Cheeseburger as well. He was in that Rumble for almost half an hour. He was the third longest competitor. Well, third longest surviving competitor in that Rumble. It was just great to see. I know I just mentioned 3 ROH guys, but just up and down the card, everyone had a strong showing. Guns and Gallows, one of their best tag matches they've had in a while. I know people don't really rate them and their matches as much as I would, but I really enjoyed it. And Maccabee and Honma put in a good showing. It's good to see them as tag champs, and it'd be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, it was just awesome. And obviously the 3 matches at the top of the card, rightfully so, were they at the top of the card. Ishii and Shibata put in a very hard-hitting contest that, you know what, well, if it didn't give me a headache just watching it, I could watch them do that for quite some time. There were some real stiff shots in there that made me wince, but that's just because I'm a bit of a wimp. But it was a really good match. It wasn't just we'll lever each other and we'll make it just a little bit self-gratifying. It really did tell quite an interesting story, and it was good to see them just put in a real shift. And then Nakamura and Styles put in their display, which I know Matt Striker mentioned on commentary is going to be a match of the year candidate. Honestly, yeah, it will be. It will be. And I'm not just biased because Nakamura, like a lot of people, is my favourite. It was just a great match, and there was that noticeable spot where AJ feigned that back injury, and that got me, I'll be honest. I didn't expect that. And it was just things like that really brought me back into being a fan. I was a fan anyway, but just being able to be engrossed and completely forget about, oh yeah, I knew he hurt his back, and yeah, he's faking it. No, I was fully engrossed. I thought he hurt his back again. And that's what I like to see. And obviously, Tanahashi and Okada putting in that match as well. Maybe a match of the year candidate. There was that passing of the torch that frankly needed to happen. They've been feuding for a few years now, and this was the right moment to cap it. Okada, is he the new ace? Is that right to be saying that or not? I'm not too sure. But the way they did it, great. I'm not going to say how exactly matches end. Obviously, I'll say the results, but I'm not going to say well, there you go. That happened, move on. It was just great how it happened, and there was some strong imagery in it, and there was a lot of meaning behind it, and it was a great thing to see. But also, another favourite moment of mine was actually the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Kenny Omega versus Kushida is a match that I'd love to see more of. It's a shame it's not going to happen, because obviously Kenny Omega is going up to heavyweight, although they could still face off at some point, I suppose. They've got some good chemistry together. They really do have some great chemistry together, and it was just really good to see them just put in a match that had a mix of everything. There was the humorous side to it, there was obviously nefarious tactics from the Bullet Club, but there was also some great wrestling in there, and there was a finish that I wasn't expecting. I believe it was a counter from the one-winged angel into a roll-up. It works, just a quick finish like that, and it's all over, and you think, wow, okay, this has happened great. And Kushida's your new champion, and it's that unexpected. It makes you not just low into, I'm watching this match, and there is the hoverboard lock, or and there it is one-winged angel. It's just always good to have it on your toes. So from top to bottom, this show was great. It had a mixture of everything, and I, for one, look forward to seeing, well, when I watched it then, I was looking forward to seeing where exactly they were going to go with it. Now on to the slightly controversial topic of maybe AJ, Nakamura and Guns N' Gallows might be leaving New Japan. Last night, I was a little bit tired. I finished it at about 2:30. So I don't think my mind was fully functioning anyway. But there was a big part of me that was struggling to get to terms with Shinsuke Nakamura leaving New Japan. He can't do that. But actually, it would be interesting to see what he does wherever he goes. It doesn't mean he's going to WWE. I know that sounds silly, but of course, most people would be saying, oh yeah, of course he's going to go to WWE. But you don't know. He might even stay at New Japan, you just don't know right now. But it was so difficult to comprehend New Japan without Nakamura. And also, the same with AJ Styles in a way, because he's had such a great run in Japan. But again, maybe it'd be good for him to try some other things, and it'll create fresh matchups. And Guns N' Gallows going, it didn't affect me as much, but still, it'd be something that hurt. And then it made me think, will New Japan be able to cope? Of course they're going to be able to cope, especially with what they did during New Year's Dash, which I'll go through in a minute. So, I know there's a lot of people out there that are losing their minds that they're all leaving. And I know there's some people that are frustrated because they're saying, it's just a rumour, shut up and see what happens. I'm conflicted, I'll be honest. I'm not exactly sure where to go with it. I really don't. And you know what? That's a good thing. Because whatever happens, happens. And it'd be interesting to see what happens. Nothing should be guaranteed in wrestling, because it's no fun. And you're not going to want to pursue it as much. And it is a very interesting time. It may or may not happen, although New Year's Dash does kind of indicate something, which I shall go on to round about now, I think. So, New Year's Dash, fun show. Every match again was entertaining. I don't think, in terms of in-ring action-wise, it was as good as Wrestle Kingdom, but nonetheless, it is one of the strongest shows I've seen in quite a while. The main thing to come out of it is the Bullet Club excommunicating AJ Styles in quite dramatic fashion. Kenny Omega and AJ obviously beat Shinsuke Nakamura and Yoshihashi in a tag match. Kenny Omega ambushes AJ with a one-winged angel. That, first of all, mind-blowing. And then the sequence that happened then, I don't think I've been that much of a fan since, honestly, ever. And I know that's going to sound a bit hyperbolic, but you know what? It is true. I can't remember the last time I was shocked as much as I was, and excited for what's going to happen. But in a matter of about 10 minutes, you had AJ double crossed by Kenny Omega. You had the Bullet Club coming out, and instead of just attacking Kenny, trying to talk it out and try and come to a reasonable conclusion, you then had the Young Bucks super kick AJ with Kenny, and they all turned their back on AJ Styles. That sequence alone, that would have been enough for just that segment, and I would have been fine. I would have been losing my mind, and that would have been sufficient. But no. They can't stop there. They really cannot just stop there for some reason. Kenny Omega admits that he's not going to chase after Kushida, and he's going to go up to heavyweight to face Nakamura for the IC title. A lot of people on Twitter were saying, oh, just imagine Omega versus Nakamura for the IC title, and we're going to get our wish. And that's exciting enough as it is. He's going to be challenging Nakamura, and AJ's gone from the Bullet Club. That was mind-blowing. And then, obviously, beat down AJ some more super kicks and a Styles Clash on him. I know I'm sounding like such a fan right now, but that sequence of events just blew my mind. And it's that sort of thing that just brings me back more and more and more. And it just opens up so many opportunities and possibilities for just the next few weeks and the next few months. It is obviously a sign-off for AJ. I don't want to, just put it out there, but come on, he is going. But if he was to come back, like if he wasn't to sign with the WWE and he was to come back, he's going to come back as one of the hottest baby faces. And that would be fun to watch as well against some of the Bullet Club members. But that's him sent off. You've got Omega feuding with Nakamura, which will be fun as it is. Those two as promo guys, as well as in-ring guys, is great, and just seeing them will probably up their games even more. And it'll be a classic match to see as a motorbike goes past. Wonderful. I love the free-flowing nature of this podcast. And maybe if Nakamura goes, you've got Omega that will take the title from him. You just don't know. But right now, well, beforehand, Omega was a fairly big star anyway, thanks to his tireless efforts in DDT and also what he's been doing with the junior division in the last year. But now that this angle has happened and that he's going after Nakamura, his stock has risen even more, and it's going to be... It's a definite indicator that they're going to do something big with Omega in the near future, and I can't wait for it, and I don't think there's someone more deserving than Kenny Omega. The send-off for AJ couldn't have gone any better, especially when the crowd are chanting his name, he struggles to get to his feet, and he bows respectfully to all sides, collapses. It was the perfect send-off for him. You wouldn't want to do it at the WrestleDome show. WrestleDome? I keep wanting to say WrestleDome. You wouldn't want to do it at the Tokyo Dome show. You want to do it on a show like that, where it just... Yeah, it's not got that grandeur of the main show, but it just has that realistic feeling towards, emotive feeling behind it, I should say. So that was the main thing to come out of New Year's Dash. Strong matches across the card, but it was that moment that really did it. So I don't know. I think that's my 2 cents on the whole thing. If you want to let me know what you thought, there are several ways to get in touch. You can tweet me at SuperMegaClash. I could really do with the followers right now, if I'm honest. You can get it on Facebook, SuperMegaClash, 3 words. Or you can email in, talktotheclash@gmail.com. Let me know. Next episode, I'll leave it as a surprise, but we're going to be talking about an event that I think is one of the better ones that I've ever watched, and we'll see where we go from there. And it'll probably be a longer form as well. And yeah, it's just early days, we're keeping it rough, and I've got some things in the works that hopefully will be happening, and you'll be the first to hear from it. But for now, goodbye. That was my 2-ish cents on Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash, and we'll see you all in a bit.